Welcome back, you lot. It's time for some more tasty model reveals. Games Workshop has decided to show off what you're going to get for their store anniversaries in 2026. We've got a Warhammer 40k model, we've got an AOS model, and both of them look pretty damn good. We'll start with the Eldar one, why not? This is the Path of Command Autarch, and frankly, looks absolutely solid. Apparently ideal for leading Aspect Warriors or Storm Guardians who like to get up close and personal. I feel like there is a scale thing going on here, but I'm not 100% sure. I'll say straight away, I really like this. It looks super good. We do have a little bit of tactical rubble going on, but it's not necessarily adding extra height to the miniature, so it's fine. It's not a rock. It's not a rock. That's something, right? It's not a rock. It's a little bit of themed rubble. I think that gets a pass. But overall, the cloak, looks fantastic. You know I love me a cloak. A good cloak, I love painting a good cloak. And when it's a nice, long, flowing cloak with plenty of volume behind it, oh, it's just so satisfying. That's exactly what that is. It looks great. I like the strip of cloth around the upper arm there as well. Very fun, very cool. Now, the scale, the armour, the scale. The armour looks really decent. I like those additional plates and stuff. Eldar armour can occasionally, to my eye, look a little bit overbusy. Sometimes. Not all the time, it's only very occasionally. But I think they've got the right balance for this. Breaks up the plain surfaces, but it doesn't look like overbearing or messy. Looks really decent. Now, the scale thing. I am perfectly happy to hold my hands up and say that I've got this wrong, if indeed I have. That's absolutely fine, but for some reason, this model just feels like it stands taller than the current Autarch, or like the existing Autarch. So this is the one that you can buy right now, and there is something about the torso that feels a little bit more like elongated, specifically around the waist, and I don't know whether the legs are a tiny bit longer as well. Again, I could be way off base with this, but it certainly feels that way. I just can't really pinpoint why. Now, part of it might be down to the fact that when you look at the cloth that's hanging down the front, the way it's tied around the waist, there's a bit more depth to it on this one, and I feel like you can see more of the kind of ab carvings that are going on with the armour. That might be a contributing factor. It might be that, plus the cloth being a bit longer and a lot thicker on this one. So when you put them, when you look at that and then look at this, I wonder if it's a bit of optical illusion going on, or whether the store anniversary one has been, stretched out just a little bit. It could also be a camera angle thing, now I'm thinking about it, because this one seems to be, I don't know, weirdly a little bit more squat. It might also be a helmet thing too. The helmet on the Autarch here is, it's massive. It's massive, but the wings add a huge amount of just additional mass to the miniature, and it makes it feel quite tall, but also really wide. The hat is wider than the body on this miniature, and I wonder if that is contributing to making it feel a bit more squat than it actually is. Compare that to this one. You don't have the huge wings. You do have the banners, but the helmet doesn't come up anywhere near as far, and because it's more tapered in and you just got that top knot coming out the top, it's nowhere near as wide as the rest of the body. So you end up with, I think, something that actually flows a bit better, and I wonder if that's what's causing that little potential kind of optical illusion there. Because the more I look at it, the more I'm like, I feel like the scaling's better. I feel like the scaling is slightly better on this one. But I can't necessarily tell right now, looking between them, whether the scaling's different or whether it's simply a case of the balance of the model is overall better on the store anniversary version than it is for the one on the web store. I'll be super curious to see what you lot think about this, whether there is some difference there, or whether it is simply a case of the perspectives are slightly different, the overall balance of it is slightly different. Yeah, super curious. The thing with Eldar and big hats, on paper, it's not necessarily something that should work, I feel like. If you just go, yeah, they've got fancy sci-fi armor, but they also have very tall hats, you kind of look at it and go, yeah, but why though? What does that add? Is that going to do anything? And to be fair, it does. It gives them a super unique thing that no one else really has, and it works really, really nicely, especially here when you've got those bits of extra decoration, you've got those fangs coming out the side. It looks great. Also, back banners. 2 of them. 2 in this economy. Like, I really quite like them. I go back and forth on back banners. Sometimes I look at them like, that is the right kind of nostalgia. I like it. Other times I look at it and I'm like, that is making a mess of this model. I think this one works pretty damn well, to be fair. Weapons-wise, we'll have to scroll down and have a look at what they say, because I can't remember what either of those things are. But they look decent. So a Dragon Fusion Pistol and Star Glaive. Cool. Get some nice alternate angles as well. Yeah, that helmet looks great. Yeah, I really like it. Really like that. Something that I've just noticed, and something that I'm very curious about, and I want to know if anyone can give me a decent answer to this, because there probably is one, and I'm sure there will be, expert Eldar enjoyers watching the video who'll be like, I know how this works. That pistol has got a holster. That pistol is also plugged into the arm of the Autarch. Now, when the pistol is holstered, does the tube disconnect and then reconnect automatically? Or every time the Autarch takes the pistol out of the holster, do they then have to plug the pistol in manually? Is that how that works? Which way round is it? Because I feel like one of those is hugely inconvenient, but the other one is absolutely fine. I just want to know which one it is. That's all. It might be a stupid question. It might be no one cares, which is also totally legitimate because, I mean, really, who cares? But just curious. That's all, just curious. Next up, we've got Korthrain the Crimson Blade. You just can't go wrong. You just can't go wrong. The Soulblight Gravelords range as a whole is absolutely fantastic. There is almost nothing in that range that I don't love. And when it comes to Vampire Lords, I mean, they keep making stuff like this, and arguably you could say that one Vampire Lord is fairly similar to another, but I don't care. I'm happy to have more of them, I'm happy to see more of them, because they tend to look pretty good. And this looks, I'd say, better than pretty good, actually. I really like this. The armour is wonderfully overcomplicated and jagged and Batwing-like. Huge fan of that. Really, really enjoy it. I mean, it's so over the top. It is so much overlapping nonsense, but at the same time, who can blame them? Look at the collar. I mean, the 2 collars. The 3 collars, technically, I think. You've got the big hooded sort of cloth collar in the middle. Then you've got a kind of green interior collar. Then you've got an outside big metal collar that looks like big old bat ears. How are you going to say that that isn't cool? It just is. I'm sorry, it just is. It looks fantastic. And then, as if that wasn't enough, as if you called them the sort of smaller interior ones, technically the cloth one is the interior one, then I guess you've got the middle collar, then you've got the exterior collar, but then the exterior collar is framed by the shoulder pads, which also have big spiky bits coming out. The commitment is unreal, and I love it. I love it. It makes a great silhouette. It's very silly. It is. It just is. I feel like that'd be so top heavy. Good grief. Regardless, there is a lot going on just around the head of this particular lad, Korthrain, and I love it. We've once again got a really nice cloak. I love the extra cloth that's gone under the armour around the midriff. That looks very nice as well. As I say, it does feel like we've got a good amount of like overlapping plates, but I like the look of that. I think this sort of segmented, pointed look works super, super well. The sword looks fantastic. I'm thoroughly enjoying just how massive that is. It feels like quite a big sword. Is it just me? I feel like it's pretty sizable. But you got that lovely sort of filigreed hilt. That's very fun. The blood dripping off the blade. I quite like it, actually. At first I wasn't sure, but I am starting to think that is quite a fun addition to it. Especially with having the other hand posed as though it's like holding out, waiting for the blood to land in the palm. That is pretty fun. Also, those metal claws on the ends of the fingers, very nice. Very nice. Very enjoyable. Now, I was going to call this guy out for being a victim of the tactical rock, but it looks like his is also a bit of tactical rubble, so it's not quite, we can't criticise too much. I mean, we could if we wanted to, but I'm just not going to. I will say I think that's quite a good vampire head sculpt as well. looks decent. You can see the teeth nice and clearly, the old pointy ears. No long flowing hair, which is sometimes a disappointment when it comes to vampires, because I feel like they've got excellent hairstyles, a lot of them. But he does look very menacing, very threatening, which is cool. I do love that that exterior collar is coming off like the top half of a vampire skull that's just been embossed in metal. Like, that looks very, very fun. It's so excessive, but I feel like it works. I think this model, more than the other one, has got sort of like heavy metal album vibes. There's something about it. But those alternate views really do a good job of showing this off properly. The cloak looks really nice. I do like the way that they do like these more angular cloaks for some of the Soulblight stuff. In a way, it can be a little bit frustrating because it feels like the motif is being hammered home a bit too much occasionally. But at the same time, it's kind of nice that there is that very distinctive style that is only attached to certain factions, whereas others get cloaks that are a lot more flowing. The fact that you've got these kind of almost harsher lines on this, mirroring the armour a bit, I actually quite like it. I think it looks pretty cool. And I've definitely gone from being unsure about the blood on the sword to really liking it. Now that we can see it from the other side as well, it just looks great. Looks super solid. Really nice. So as it says, both of these will be available for the first time at store anniversary in 2026, starting in February. But interestingly, they do also say that they may eventually be made available again in the future. So if you're not near a store, you're not able to get hold of one, there is a chance, perhaps, that one day, at some point in the next couple of years, you might be able to buy it anyway, which I quite like that. I prefer that in some ways. I get why they do it the way they do it, but being made available again at a future date, once, you know, all the stores have been through the anniversary, maybe like wait a year or so, I like that, and I would like it if they did more in terms of making exclusive stuff a bit more accessible, just because it's not always possible for someone to go out and get this stuff, even if they really want it. And yes, it is entirely possible to pick stuff like this up off eBay, but half the time you're paying twice the price, and that's just not fun for anyone, except for the person who's selling it for twice the price because they're scalping the shit out of you, which is not something to be enjoyed. But yeah, I really like both of those. It's actually, I'll say, this time round, usually I tend to find myself picking a favourite. I really like both. They're both super solid, they're both really fun. That's about it, really. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you thought of those in the comments down below, and I'll see you for the next one.